From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, September 2nd, 2017. Silver is trading at $17.73 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,325 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at 4.3 cents, and the average price of Bitcoin is $4,644. Antiwar.com reports 17 buses containing slightly over 300 the Islamic State fighters and an estimated 350 civilians, including family members of the Islamic State fighters, remain stranded in the middle of the Syrian desert after the U.S. attacked the highway they were traveling on and destroyed a bridge to keep them from being evacuated. The evacuation was meant to be part of a ceasefire deal between the Islamic State forces on the Lebanon border made with Lebanon and Syria, but U.S. officials expressed anger at this idea, saying busing members of the Islamic State is unacceptable and all must be killed on the spot. U.S. officials say they have not yet attacked the buses over concerns about inflicting civilian casualties, but have not ruled out doing so in the future if the buses try to take an alternate route. They did confirm attacks on the Islamic State vehicles they said were dispatched to try to help direct the convoy to safety. The U.S. seems to be determined to keep the evacuation convoy from advancing, warning them against taking any alternate routes. It's not clear, however, that leaving busloads of civilians stranded in the desert is a real option in the long term. For over 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. And as a Bitcoin-preferred business, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts Brokerage today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports Utah police have launched an internal investigation after an officer arrested a nurse for refusing to give him a vial of patient's blood without a warrant. Alex Woobles, a nurse at the University of Utah Hospital, held a press conference Thursday to share body camera footage of the incident. Salt Lake City Police Detective Jeff Payne went to the medical center on July 26th seeking vials of blood for an investigation involving a truck driver who'd been injured in a car crash and taken to the university hospital. The car crash involved another vehicle driven by a suspect who had been fleeing police and veered into oncoming traffic. The suspect died in the crash. In the video, Woobles is seen seeking recommendations from her supervisor and other hospital officials on the hospital policy. Payne, though, insists on getting the samples of blood and puts Woobles in handcuffs for interfering with a criminal investigation. Woobles said she told Payne she would not hand over the blood because he did not have a warrant, the patient, who was unconscious, could not consent, and the patient was not under arrest. She said if they needed blood, then they needed to go through the proper channels to get it. Payne responded, "I either go away with blood in vials or body in tow." The officer then takes her into the police vehicle as she cries, "Stop, I've done nothing wrong. This is crazy. This is crazy. Why is he so angry?" Woobles was released without charge after 20 minutes. Salt Lake Police Chief Brandon Shearer said the department's chief, Mike Brown, called the video very alarming. The department launched an internal probe of Payne's actions and suspended him from the blood draw program. Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends to show up in an emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare to the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411, because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com. Reuters reports rescuers searched painstakingly through flooded neighborhoods across southeastern Texas on Friday for people stranded by Hurricane Harvey's deluge as President Trump asked Congress for $7.85 billion in federal disaster relief. The storm, one of the costliest to hit the United States, has displaced more than 1 million people, with 50 feared dead from flooding that paralyzed Houston, swelled river levels to record highs, and knocked out the drinking water supply in Beaumont, Texas, a city of 120,000 people. Though the sun was out in Houston on Friday and water levels were down in some areas, Mayor Sylvester Turner called for voluntary evacuations on the city's west side. He said already flooded neighborhoods there may be in greater danger as the Army Corps of Engineers continues to release water into the adjacent Buffalo Bayou to prevent dam and levee failures. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.